Well, back here in Houston, one local doctor is out on bond after being charged with the sexual assault of a young girl. And that's according to Deer Park Police and the Harris County District Attorney's Office. Fox 26 Leslie Dellis-Bohr live at Deer Park with the information on this. Leslie, pretty disturbing.
Yeah, disturbing indeed. Deer Park police say a 36-year-old anesthesiologist allegedly lured a teenage girl from her home here in Deer Park to his home in Webster. This man, 36-year-old Dwayne Dunbar, an anesthesiologist who has been practicing for 8 years, is charged with sexual assault of a child, according to court records. He is accused of allegedly using apps such as Instagram and Snapchat with his profile picture to befriend underage girls and then attempt to start relationships with them.
So this case originated back in February when the victim came forward and reported it to us.
Court records and police say between October and November of 2024, Dunbar picked the teenage girl up from her home in Deer Park and took her back to his apartment where he gave her alcohol and allegedly sexually assaulted her. Court documents also say Dunbar told police that he met with the girl in his apartment 2 or 3 times in 2024, but denied sexual intercourse. Dunbar is out on a $75,000 bond.
He was using a profile online. He was portraying himself to be anywhere between 18 and 24 years of age and just talking to multiple people online trying to start relationships with them.
One tech expert says sadly this type of situation is common. He adds that a lot of online predators are using Instagram to create fake profiles and Snapchat because messages and pictures can disappear quickly. But he says there are signs families need to look out for.
We've also seen that these fake profiles are using sometimes artificial intelligence to be able to generate not only content but to generate pictures that look hyper realistic, and in that way, they don't show the true identity. If the profile was created very recently, let's say within the first 6 months, that's a yellow alert, maybe a red alert. That's number one. Number two, one of the things that I would like parents to know is do not provide social media accounts for kids that are 19, 20, or younger. I know parents will have a lot of resistance from teenagers. I know that's a thing, but it's way better to have an argument with your teenage girl or boy than to actually be dealing with situations like these.
A developing story here tonight. Although hate crimes across the nation were down last year, according to the FBI statistics, anti-Jewish crime rose. Our Abigail Dye brings us a story from Katie of a woman who says that she experienced that anti-Semitism firsthand.
Take a look at this security video. It was captured from a Katy home on Monday. You see a sedan back into this driveway, and an ATV with 2 masked riders hangs out at the end of it. After about a minute, you see the Israeli flag that's flying in the corner disappear. Then that sedan and the ATV take off.
I want these criminals to know that every time they tore down my flag, I will put another one.
You said that you put up these camera signs after this same thing happened last month.
Yes, after the first incident.
Did you feel violated, scared?
Yes, of course. It is a violation of my property. It's a violation of my freedom of speech. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in this area or even in Houston, you know, that is experiencing this type of threat.
We're at an elevated state of anti-Semitic incidents that are happening in the region. The incidents range from harassment to vandalism. We thankfully have a very low assault rate in the area.
Crime data from the FBI that they released last week concerning 2024 shows that hate crimes have decreased about 1.5% from 2023 to last year. But 18% of all of those crimes were targeted against the Jewish community, and 69% of all religious hate crimes were also targeted against Jews. So although hate crime did decrease over 1% nationwide, the data shows that crimes against the Jewish community have increased.
They can support Hamas, they can support Palestine, that's the right to do, you know, but it's not the right to silence me.
People feel very justified in bold action and expressing attitudes to kind of a degree we haven't seen before.
I want them to be caught. I want them to be apprehended, and hopefully this will stop them from doing any harm to any Jewish or any pro-Israel people out there.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office confirmed with me that they are investigating this incident, and if you have any information on the people you saw in that video, you're asked to contact them.
In tonight with a developing story, a 22-year-old former Harris County detention officer is accused of pretending to still be in law enforcement so that way she could sell a luxury car she doesn't even own. Fox 26's Randy Wallace reports from Tomball.
According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, Stevie Mosley resigned as a detention officer on April 25th while under internal affairs investigation for fraternization with a jail inmate. That jail inmate now appears to be Mosley's accomplice, Andrea Denise Johnson. This man, who asked not to be identified, saw a 2022 Lexus for sale on Facebook Marketplace for just $10 grand. The person selling it was Amber West.
And her daughter, her supposed daughter, was Stevie Mosley.
Yes.
Stevie Mosley has on a Harris County uniform.
Full uniform with the vest. I mean, you would think she just walked out of the jail.
Did she tell you that she was a law enforcement officer?
Yes. I specifically asked her, like verbatim, like, you know, are you a cop? She was like, I am law enforcement, yes.
Amber West, investigators say, was 23-year-old Andrea Denise Johnson. This man says Mosley told him she was closing her car dealership and had more cars for sale. He says he paid her 18 grand for the Lexus and another vehicle. Turns out the Lexus didn't belong to Mosley or Johnson. Investigators say Mosley rented the vehicle.
When did she rent the vehicle?
On July 24th.
How long was she going to have it?
2 days.
And then she extended that?
Yeah, she extended it twice.
What do you think about that she took it from you to sell it?
I think she's very dumb. I mean, we gave her multiple chances to return the vehicle.
Mosley and Johnson have yet to be arrested. Mosley could face civil or criminal penalties for not turning in her uniform when she resigned. Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Well, some tense moments caught on camera of a takedown by a Texas City police officer. You see, the officer was working with the Galveston County Sheriff's Crime Reduction Task Force in Kemah when this happened yesterday around 3 o'clock. Our Abigail Dye has both sides of that story.
What are you doing? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? Babe, just let him. Babe, just let him. Just let him.
This video was taken outside of a shopping center in Kemah, Texas. This is Texas City Police Officer P. Baller that you see in the video. He's sitting on top of Weston Maybe, who's now sitting in jail, charged with assaulting a peace officer.
What are you doing?
We were getting school supplies, and as I was going to go open up the trunk to get the stroller out, I saw a cop coming from like Waterburger area, and the license plate he's saying is not coming back to our cars. It's not coming back as registered at all. So I'm like, I need to get my phone to show you all the documents because I'm at the trunk. When I go to get my phone, he throws them on the ground. I grab it. I'm coming over there. I'm started recording. I started freaking out before I started recording. Why would a police officer feel the need to do such excessive force when he wasn't? My husband did not do anything to him.
I requested the charging documents in this case to get the other side of the story. Thanks, Aaron. They say that Officer Beller tried to make contact with Maybe because his license plate didn't return in the state database. They say that Officer Beller alleges Maybe was being defiant and trying to get back into the vehicle, saying that's when Beller decided to take Maybe to the ground to detain him, and that's when Officer Beller says Maybe punched him in the face.
He's beating the out of that kid.
The woman who took this video says she saw the takedown. First of all, could you clarify, do you know the person who was arrested or his wife in any personal way?
No, I had never met them before. You know, I heard a loud commotion and looked over just as the police officer was grabbing a young man by his shirt and throwing him to the ground.
At any point, did you see him hit the officer?
I did not.
I've been reaching out to Texas City Police today for their take, and they posted this on their Facebook page just about an hour ago. This is the mugshot of Maybe and his charging information. There's also a lengthy press release, and there are a couple new things on there. One says that Maybe admitted to the officer that he bought the license plate online. And that press release, it also says that when the officer escorted Maybe to the front of the patrol car, Maybe began physically resisting and struck the officer in the face with a closed fist, not mentioning the takedown when court documents say that Maybe hit the officer after he was taken to the ground. So we have a couple things that are a little different from the court documents to this press release, but long story short, police say that Maybe hit the officer, and witnesses say that's not what happened.
And you had two different accounts there from the witness.
Right.
And also the woman that was recording.
Yes. So the witness who saw it all happen, and then of course Maybe's wife, who was also there, says that her husband didn't hit the officer.
Well, the story doesn't end here. Hopefully Texas City reaches out and they can kind of clear up some any additional information if they have anything else they want to add to that.
Absolutely. And, you know, dash camera, body camera, those things won't lie. So we might not have the full picture and the full truth until those are released.
Only on Fox, one Sweeney family says after 9 months of little to no answers, they feel a sigh of relief. Now, this comes after 28-year-old Michaela Tyler was killed back in November 2024 at the Windmill Run Apartments. After nearly 9 months since her death, her then husband, Michael Logan Tyler, was indicted last week by a grand jury and charged with her murder. He has been in jail since April on other charges. Meantime, Fox 26's Leslie Delaspore is back in Sweeney. And Leslie, you have covered this story since the very beginning, and you actually spoke with the family. What did they have to say today?
Yeah, Caroline, the Friday will make 9 months since Michaela was killed, and the family says although some justice has been served, they are hoping that it doesn't stop here.
Not knowing what's yet to come, you know, what his sentence will be or anything like that. That still has me a little apprehensive, but at least they finally did put the murder charges on him.
And now for the county to acknowledge it as well was thank you for doing your job.
I know you're happy, but is there a little bit of anger or frustration because it took 8 months?
Silence. I know there's protocols and things like that, but there are certain things that you can say, and silence and ignoring family that's grieving is not the way to go.
For me, it was just like, where is he? Let me go find him myself.
I couldn't help her. To know she was fearful of firearms to begin with, and to know that she was fighting him and trying to get that firearm away from here. So I don't hate anybody, but wow, dude, you have no heart.
I think it was just relief, you know, that they finally served him, that yes, it really did happen. And now we can move on from that to what the next step is going to be and prepare ourselves for that. But Sweeney just has, yeah, it's just not the same little town. And though you don't expect it to happen in your backyard, you should be prepared. Because, I mean, you know, Sweeney is no big place to go, and you don't go to Sweeney unless you go for a purpose. It's not some place you have to go through. So they should protect what they have in their community and step up and do their job and get it over with. Because Michaela grew up there. There was no reason it should have taken this long. No reason.
Do better for your community. Like, don't you want your community to want to call on you? Don't you want your community to have faith in you, to protect them? And the other families, don't give up hope, don't lose hope, don't lose faith. Justice will be served, just don't give up. We didn't give up, and look where we are. We're one step closer, so don't give up faith.
Now, Michael Tyler is currently in the Brazoria County Jail on a $2 million bond for this murder charge.
A child custody dispute ended in gunfire this morning in northwest Harris County. 2 men are dead after a Precinct 4 deputy opened fire on a suspect. This happened on Tanglehead Court, and Fox 26's Jillian Hartman has been out there. She's joining us now live at the scene with the very latest.
Yeah, in the last 30 minutes, I just got confirmation from the assistant chief of Precinct 4 that the shooter died at the hospital. So that's now 2 men who have died following this deputy-involved shooting that occurred this morning here along this neighborhood street. You can see it's still an active scene, and also that this road is roped off as deputies continue to investigate. Now take a look at this. This is Sky Fox video of the area from this morning. Several sheriff deputies were lining the street here on Tanglehead Court. It was a very heavy law enforcement presence. The shooting happened around 11 a.m. Authorities say a Precinct 4 deputy constable was called here for a child custody dispute. Now, when the deputy arrived, they say a man walked out of a home and shot another man who was outside. The sheriff's office said the deputy returned fire, hitting the suspect. The victim in this case died on scene. The suspect was taken to the hospital in critical condition, and we just got confirmation he has died. Now, no deputies were injured in this shooting. Now, the assistant chief for Precinct 4 shared with us some information during a press conference earlier today. Take a listen.
Deputy arrived on scene, talked to both parties, had one party outside of the house. When a second party came out, produced a weapon, shooting one of the other parties and forcing the deputy to return fire and striking the original shooter. It was just one deputy. As soon as he discharged his weapon, he called for assistance. Several deputies arrived from our department and the sheriff's department.
Well, Jillian, have you been able to learn if there was some retaliation between the victim and the shooter and what led up to that shooting?
Yeah, at this time, we have not been told the relation between the shooter and the victim and what led up to the shooting. I am told, though, before the incident, someone was coming here to pick up a child. Now, the sheriff's office is handling this case, and they're investigating this shooting. And we are told that the deputy who shot the suspect will be on administrative leave due to protocol. Back to you.
Nearly 6 months after 28-year-old Michaela Tyler was killed in Sweeney at the Windmill Run Apartments, a 16-year-old was killed at the same place. While there are now murder charges in Tyler's case, Sweeney police, they say that the teenager's murder remains unsolved. Fox 26's Leslie Delaspore spoke with the Sweeney police chief about these cases and how he hopes to rebuild trust within the community.
Here in Sweeney in April 2025, 16-year-old Robert Phillips was killed at the Windmill Run Apartments, and at this time there is still no arrest in his case. The Sweeney police chief says the investigation takes time, but with this murder and another 6 months prior, he wants the people of Sweeney to know he's doing his best with what he has.
We do have ideas of it was a situation gone bad, so we didn't have physical evidence at the scene per se, live witnesses that saw it happen. We didn't have video cameras. We have a community that lives over there that not only did not anybody see anything, but nobody was talking. We have the few people that were talking, we've later found out, were completely lying. When this second death happened over there, people immediately said, we don't want to live here anymore. So we lost a week. People started moving out. Some of these people were potential witnesses. They were ones that we've talked to before, that now we're going back, they're no longer there, and we may not have had good follow-up contact information. So that really did a lot of damage to this investigation. I feel like, based on our meeting today and my discussion with the Sheriff's Department investigators that are helping us, and also the Texas Ranger, there's going to be accountability in this case. That standoffishness, or probably the lack or the appearance of the lack of communication, I should say, was a result of making sure I didn't do something wrong or give false hope or compromise an investigation. It's got to start at the top. I've got to make sure that I'm out there and I'm more accessible. I hate that something has taken as long as they have, but I can promise you and promise the family the time taken in this investigation is not wasted time. It's time that's needed to make sure that when accountability is put out there, it's not something these people are going to get out of. Gaining the respect back, gaining the confidence back. We have very good relationships in this community. I want to make sure those relationships stay solid.
The Sweeney police chief adds he only has 10 officers on his team, so he does call on bigger agencies to help out with investigations, but he wants to reassure the people of Sweeney that he can protect and serve this community. Reporting in Sweeney, Leslie Delaspore, Fox 26 News.
All right, so last night we told you about this story here. So we are now hearing from the victim of a robbery that happened last month. The man is a double amputee who was pushed out of his wheelchair during an attack at the hands of this man, and that is according to Houston police. Our Abigail Dye has that story.
Who would rob someone in a wheelchair? This guy, according to Houston police.
They put out this video. You see our suspect just hanging around this gas station. The assault is cut out of the video, but you can see the victim's wheelchair left on the ground as the suspect walks off, seemingly taunting the victim.
I didn't know this guy was standing right next to me. And before you know it, I was on the ground. But I had a chance to hit him, but he ran off with my phone and my identification, everything.
This happened on July 27th around 4 a.m. here at the Swift gas station on the corner of Fulton and Tidwell. We're hiding the victim's identity for his safety, and it seems like he's well liked around here. Cashiers and different people in this area, they all know who he is, but they don't know who robbed him. So he knocked you down, he took your phone, your wallet, and just ran.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I mean, what was going through your head?
I just couldn't believe a person like that would do something to a person who's in a wheelchair.
If you could say anything to the man who did this, what would you say?
If you're a man enough, turn yourself in. Because if you did this to me, you did that to somebody else. We need to get people like that off the streets. But I'll forgive them. I'll forgive them, but you know, he got to turn himself in.
This guy is still out on the streets, but Houston police are trying to change that, and you could get a cash reward for any information that you submit. You can call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS, and when you call that number, you always remain anonymous. For Fox 26 News, I'm Abigail Dye.
And only on Fox here tonight, a lawsuit alleges sex attacks, forced labor, and human trafficking. All were going on inside of a Montrose area day spa. Here's Randy Wallace.
Folks driving down Montrose past this day spa every day will be shocked when they hear what allegations are being made against this business.
You had your day-to-day people going in. You had even women going in to get massages. A lot of Johns knew that they could go in and take advantage of individuals who are being trafficked in that space.
And there are things like this that are happening every day right under our nose.
Attorney George Edwards has filed suit against Urban Tide Day Spa at 2016 Montrose. You are going after the men who went in there and paid for these services.
Those men need to be identified, they need to be investigated, and of course they have already been sued, but they will be named in the lawsuit once they are identified.
She just thought that she was going in and getting a trade skill to be able to support her family.
This 40-year-old woman from Mexico worked at the spa. We are not identifying her.
She would make me first take off all of my clothes, and then they would assign me to a specific person to do sexual things.
Did you feel like your life was in danger if you just walked away and said, I quit?
Yes, two girls were threatened. They threatened me. One was told that she would cut off my tongue, and the other one told me that she would call the police on me. My boss then, she started to put me with her most aggressive clients. They would bite me, they would beat me up, and they would hit me. And they got so much pleasure out of watching me getting beat.
Investigations into the spa are far from over.
This matter remains under criminal investigation by HPD. We have, as of this week, we have made a referral to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's office for a criminal and civil complaint to start at the state level.
We went inside to see if the business wanted to respond to the lawsuit. We've yet to hear back from their attorney. Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
A Harris County Precinct 1 deputy constable caught on camera pointing her gun at a man during what officials call a family dispute. And now she's facing mounting calls for criminal charges. Community activists say the deputy's behavior has crossed the line into criminal conduct. Here's Fox 26's Sherman DeSell with more on that story here tonight. Sherman?
Yeah, Anthony, activists say that the deputy involved in this did more than put her personal life into the job, but committed a crime in uniform. And they're calling on the constable's office and the DA to act right now.
I thought it was a skit. I thought it was something fake and put together through AI.
But no, this was an actual constable being a complete thug in uniform.
This cell phone video, now sparking outrage, depicts an off-duty Harris County Precinct 1 deputy constable in full uniform pointing her gun at Michael Evans, demanding he hand over a phone.
Just putting this gun to this man's face like that over a phone, and then how she was just completely irate. That what makes me question, what is her mental state?
On August 6th, Constable Alan Rosen's office told Fox 26 the deputy was placed on desk duty during an internal investigation. Activists call that response not enough.
No other Harris County citizen could have had a video with them committing that type of crime on video and be reassigned to desk duty.
Evans, who says the deputy is his sister-in-law, claims she pulled the gun after he took his child's mother's phone during a dispute. He says he's now traumatized by it.
I'm just afraid, you know what I'm saying, worried if it's going to escalate to another level.
Matthews says she spoke with the constable about this recently and thinks this deputy's actions demand more than an internal review.
And I just want to be clear, I'm pro-law enforcement, but I am not for rogue cops. And that was a rogue cop activity, what she did.
So we reached out to both the Constable Alan Rosen's office and the Harris County DA's office for comment on whether criminal charges are being considered. Reminder, though, the Constable's office would have to present the charges before the DA's office can make any moves on it. Back to you, Anthony.
Yeah, some shocking video, though, Sherm. Thanks.
Now to an update on a story that we brought to you in May. It was of a man posing as the owner of a wedding venue, stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from Houston couples. Carl John Bucho, who went under the alias Lance Miller, has been arrested and charged with theft of property valued between $150,000 and $300,000. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says Bucho posed as the owner and manager of the Charleston Lane wedding venue over in Willis. We do know at least 17 couples reported paying for weddings that never occurred. Now we have an update in the ongoing money laundering case involving Fort Bend County Judge KP George. Prosecutors laying out new allegations against the judge in a filing this week. The Houston Chronicle reports prosecutors are accusing George of underreporting thousands of dollars in campaign funds, which they say he transferred into personal accounts and later used to pay his property taxes and help buy a home. The filing was in response to a motion by George to dismiss the indictment. George currently faces 2 separate cases of money laundering and federal wire fraud.